Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 21st November 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 9 topics which are very much relevant to our UPSC. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see first the topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first topic, it is about Indore keeps cleanest city tag for 5th year. So this is very important. It is regarding our Swachh Sarvekshan ranking. Okay. So it is according to our Swachh Sarvekshan ranking 2021. So this topic, it is very important from especially your prelims point of view. And next topic, it is about Hyderabad adjusted best self-sustainable mega city. So this topic is also related to this ranking itself. And next topic is about Pochampalli's Hour of Glory. So already you know that here this Pochampalli sarees got geographical indication tag, and now here it mainly got Hour of Glory by United Nations. Okay, United Nations World Tourism Organization. So because of this, it becomes very important, especially this will boost our production of sarees from this Pochampalli especially. So you need to know about what are the specialities of this Pochampalli saree. And next one is MG Narega man days to be raised to 150. Actually under this MG Narega, so first of all this MG Narega stands for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So under this scheme, so the man days, that is under this scheme, it is mainly guaranteeing about 100 days of work within a year, and now it is going to be raised to 150. So this is also important from our GS paper 2 under schemes, policies and programs of government. And next topic is about RBI report. RBI report found 600 illegal loan apps operating in India. So because of this illegal loan apps, we are having many challenges in our society, and many people, they also lost their money. Okay. So because of this, here we need to look after this illegal loan apps. So that is the responsibility of RBI. And RBI came up with a report which mainly says that about 600 illegal loan apps are operating in India. So we are going to see each and every point which is relevant from our UPSC point of view regarding this topic. And this will be important from our economy, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is about Paxlovid. Paxlovid may be huge advancement for all coronaviruses. So this Paxlovid, it is antiviral drug which is mainly dealing with this coronavirus. We are going to see some facts regarding this Paxlovid. So actually it is one interview, so we are not going to discuss everything regarding that, but only we are focusing on this Paxlovid. So this will be important from our health and even science and technology, which comes under GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 respectively. And next topic is about, can this portable robot end septic tank deaths? So it is talking about this manual scavenging. So even manual scavenging, which is banned in India, so even though it is banned, there are a number of deaths which are reported because of this manual scavenging. So how to address this challenge? So we can incorporate our technology, right? So we can use robots mainly for cleaning of these drainage tanks or septic tanks, right? So here recently one robot which mainly prepared, so that is mainly going to be cleaning this septic tanks, and we have to see whether this ends this septic tank deaths or not. So this will be important from science and technology when we are talking about this robot. And if you're talking about manual scavenging deaths, that will be important from our GS paper 2 under polity. Next one, it is warming earth. So this article will be important from our environment and ecology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic is about tooth print. So based on the tooth prints on especially on child's teeth, so we can identify whether they are susceptible for the mental illness or not. So this is a study, and this will be important from science and technology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So these are the list of the topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. And now let us try to see one by one in a very great detail. So first article says that Indore keeps cleanest city tag for 5th year. So for continuously from last 5 years, Indore keeps cleanest city tag. So if you see this infographic, then you can understand. First one is Indore, okay, first city which mainly ranked under this Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 year is, first one is here indoor, and in the last year also indoor. Okay, so from last 5 years, Indore mainly stands first. And next one is Surat. Surat stands second, and last year it is 14. Vijayawada stands 6th, and last year it is 12. Next one is Greater Hyderabad. Now it is 65th. Okay, but rank in 2019 it is 35. Okay, so these are the some important details that you need to know. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that Indore was ranked the cleanest city for 5th consecutive year. Okay, so in the last 5 years, Indore, which is mainly standing as a cleanest city. So this is released by Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in annual cleaning rankings. So it is also called as Swachh Sarvekshan. Okay, Swachh Sarvekshan Awards 2021. So now let us try to see some important details which are given in this article. So if you see details, it mainly says that Swachh Sarvekshan Awards 2021 handed out by our president, and it also included the cleanest state honor for Chhattisgarh for the 3rd time. Okay, so this is also one important point. And if you're talking about some important details, in category of states, okay, in category of states with more than 100 urban local bodies, okay, so here Indore stand first. And next one is Prime Minister G's constituency, that is Varanasi. Varanasi also won the award for cleanest Ganga city. And if you're talking about some facts regarding these rankings or awards, so Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which mainly organizing this Swachh Amrit Mahotsav. Okay, so this event mainly organized at Vignan Bhavan in National Capital. Okay, so here this Swachh Amrit Mahotsav, which will pay tribute mainly to sanitation workers by means of recognizing top performing cities under this Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. So under this Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge, so this ranking is nothing but to pay tribute to sanitation workers by giving ranks for the cities. Okay, so these are the some important things that you need to remember. And if you are talking about this survey, it is the world's largest cleanliness survey. It is Swachh Sarvekshan 2021. So Swachh Sarvekshan 2021, which has become the world's largest cleanliness survey, and it mainly surveys about 4,320 cities. And in 2016, it surveyed 73 major cities in 2016. Okay, and in 2021 edition, it was conducted in just 28 days. Okay, so because of this, it became the world's largest cleanliness survey. And now let us try to talk about performance of different states and union territories under this index. So if you're talking about what is the performance, so 6 states and 6 UTs, they have shown improvement between 5 to 25%. Okay, so 6 states and 6 union territories, they saw a large amount of improvement. And the source segregation of garbage has been started across 1100 additional cities. So from 1100 additional cities, so there is a source segregation of garbage. And all northeastern states, they have shown significant improvement. Okay, all northeastern states, they showed significant improvement. And next one is around 1800 urban local bodies, they have extended welfare benefits to sanitation workers. Okay, so about 1800 urban local bodies, they also extended this welfare benefits to sanitation workers. And more of 1500 cities, they have notified the ban on sale, use and shortage of non-biodegradable plastic bags. And 3000 city administrations have also been so far implemented it. So it is a great success, I can say. If you understand this data, then you can understand that yes, we are mainly focusing on sanitation, right? So why sanitation is important? During this coronavirus time or COVID-19 period, we understand what is the importance of this sanitation. Sanitation is very, very important, mainly to decrease some vector-borne disease. So in our country, in Kerala, in UP and as well as in Delhi, there is also increasing of Zika virus cases. So this Zika virus, which mainly transmitted by these mosquitoes. So if you are keeping our sanitation clean, so we can decrease the number of mosquitoes, and we can also It is also helpful mainly to control disease which are mainly transmitted by this vector mosquito. For example, Zika virus, dengue virus, yellow fever, chikungunya, etc. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says Hyderabad adjusted best self-sustainable megacity. Okay, so title says Hyderabad adjusted best self-sustainable megacity. So this article, it is also related to earlier article. So now let us try to focus on this article. So if you are talking about context, why it is in news? Because Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, that is, we can call it as GHMC. Okay, so Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, which mainly bettered itself in annual Swachh Sarvekshan rankings and mainly awarded by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, by improving its position over the previous year and also by standing a winner as the best self-sustainable megacity in categories of cities with population over 40 lakh. So with population over 40 lakhs in this category, so GHMC which made it that somewhat better, and it is a best self-sustainable megacity in the population which is over 40 lakhs. So if you're talking about some important details, it mainly says that by coincidence, even Secunderabad Cantonment Board, okay, so it is a coincidence. So Secunderabad Cantonment Board has also received recognition as best self-sustainable cantonment. Okay, so here Secunderabad Cantonment Board also has received a recognition, that is best self-sustainable containment. And if you're talking about this survey which also results, so these results of this survey which is announced by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So this will be very important prelims fact. Here you might be confused when you are reading your prelims statement. And in the rankings which made awarded to cities over 10 lakh population, GHMC, that is Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, which mainly received 13th rank against 23rd award which we got in 2020. So in 2020 Hyderabad got 23rd rank, and now here in 2021 it got 13th rank. So this is a lot of improvement that is seen in this GHMC. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about Pochampalli's Hour of Glory. It is about United Nations World Tourism Organization. It is not WTO, that is World Trade Organization. It is United Nations World Tourism Organization. So from this World Tourism Organization, this Pochampalli got best World Tourism Village tag. So because of this is a news. And this article will be important from GS paper 3 under economy. Okay, and even from international relations also it is important. So if you're talking about context, why it is in news? Pochampalli, it is a 28 square kilometers weavers hamlet. So Pochampalli, it is 28 square kilometers weavers hamlet. Okay, it is 28 square kilometers weavers hamlet on the outskirts of Hyderabad. Okay, so on the outskirts of Hyderabad, we are having this Pochampalli village. Okay, and now this Pochampalli village, which has been captured onto the global stage after being best world village tourism. Okay, tourism village. Okay, so it got best world tourism village tag, and this tag mainly awarded by United Nations World Tourism Organization. And if you see some details, it mainly says that, so the village is a shimmering pleats of color with billboards of saris, of silk saris, cotton fabrics, and as well as phone numbers. So here this area which is very much famous for this handlooms, especially handloom made saris, bed sheets, etc. So because of this village which is mainly shimmering with the pleats of color, different types of colors. So in the process of weaving, we will be having a lot of process, because I came from this, especially from this weavers community. So I know about what will be the challenges and what are the works they will be doing. First, they will collect silk or either cotton, right? So here we have cotton cloths or woolen cloths or silk cloths. So if you're talking about silk we can get from silkworms, and from the cotton the threads will be taken off. After taking off threads, they will be going for spinning of these threads. After spinning of this thread, they will go for coloring of these threads, and after that they will go for weaving. So before weaving also there will be a lot of work they need to be done. And for the designing that you are seeing, so if you see this jacket which I wear, it is like a Pochampalli design. Okay, so the design, it is like a waves, right? So to bring that design, the artist, that is a weaver artist community, they will be working very hard, and they have to ensure that only the red color should come here and here white color should come. So for that they will be having a lot of work that need to be done. And most of this Pochampalli sarees, they are mainly done by hand looms, not by power looms. So for preparation of cloths, we will be having power looms and as well as hand looms. So power looms, they will be run by using electricity, and by using those machines the weaving will be fast, but it will be not that much fine as that of when we are comparing with that of these hand looms. So in the hand loom, they do not need any power, so but manually they will operate this hand looms, and it will take lot of time for completion or for making or prepare one sari when we are comparing with that of this power looms. Okay, so power loom textile industries are very much common in Bombay and as well as Maharashtra, but here this Pochampalli, it is famous for this handloom sarees. So if you see some facts, it mainly says that if you're talking about especially this Pochampalli village, so this Pochampalli is in Nalgonda district, and it is often referred to as the Silk City of India. It is referred as Silk City of India for exquisite sarees that are woven through unique style. So we can see unique style, that is ikat style. That will be like I will show you design in this image. You can see here different images, they are mainly carved. These images are seen here, and here you can also see different motifs like bootas will be there, like peacock designs, like different flowers. So these are some of the ikat designs I can say. Okay, and nowadays if you are a girl or if you are a woman, you will be knowing about ikat pattu sarees, and ikat sarees are mainly used for long frocks, etc., and the cost will be also very high. And if you're talking about this ikat style of this Pochampalli, which received this geographical indication in year 2004 itself. And if you're talking about some more important facts, Pochampalli's unique weaving styles and the patterns, they received the special focus through Prime Minister's mantra, that is vocal for locals, that is you can say like Atmanirbhar Bharat. And in 2015, to recognize the diversity of weaving techniques, our rich hand loom tradition, our Prime Minister inaugurated first National Handloom Day on 7th August. So on 7th August, our Prime Minister inaugurated this National Handloom Day, and this day may be celebrated to tribute formal promulgation of Swadeshi movement that was made in the meeting at the Calcutta Town Hall on same day 1905. So in 1905, what happened in this Swadeshi movement? They mainly proposed to use the goods which are mainly made up in India, but not from the foreign countries, like foreign countries from Manchester. Okay, so what happened here during this Swadeshi movement? We mainly boycotted these foreign goods, and we mainly focused or we mainly promoted our domestic goods. And if you're talking about this Pochampalli, it is also known as Bhudan Pochampalli, and it is mainly to commemorate the Bhudan movement. And this movement was launched by Acharya Vinoba Bhave from his village on 18th April 1951. And if you're talking about this Vinoba Bhave, he was the first international figure to receive Ramsan Magsaysay Award in 1958. And he was awarded Bharat Ratna, in year 1983. And if you're talking about this Ministry of Tourism, which recommended 3 villages for this United Nations World Tourist Organization, first one is Pochampalli. Out of this, Pochampalli awarded one of the best villages of tourism by this United Nations World Tourist Organization. And those 3 villages include Kongtong in Meghalaya, Latpura Khas in Madhya Pradesh, and Pochampalli in Telangana state. So why United Nations World Tourist Organization which came with this type of initiative? Because actually this initiative is a pilot initiative, and it is mainly going to highlight those villages where tourism preserves culture, traditional, and where it celebrates its diversity and provides opportunities and to safeguard biodiversity. So it is a pilot project. And as well as it also aims to award those villages which are outstanding examples of rural destinations, and it will also especially showcases good practices in line with specific 9 evaluation areas. Okay, and if you're talking about this type of initiative which mainly focus or which mainly aims to support villages, and this will help to enhance their rural tourism potential, and will be also helpful for increasing of improvement opportunities, development opportunities, and even employment opportunities. And now let us try to see next topic is about MG Narega man days to be raised to 150. So it is talking about this MG Narega scheme. So what is the thing here? Central government which mainly approved Karnataka's government request to increase the guaranteed mandate, that is guaranteed work days for people who enroll under this MG Narega. So recently we saw that MG Narega, it is highly seen in news. Why? Because of most of the funds under this MG Narega, they have been completed, and some states, they are mainly having some negative balance regarding this MG Narega. So here why? Because of there is increase in the demand for this MG Narega from rural areas, because due to this COVID-19 pandemic, many people, they started migrating from their cities to their hometowns due to this COVID-19 related restrictions. So because of this, there is increase in the enrollment in this MG Narega. So because of this, the funds which have been allocated for this MG Narega had been in a negative pace in many states. So now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that the center has approved the Karnataka government request to increase the guaranteed man days of work for a family under this MG Narega scheme from 100 to 150. Okay, so center has approved Karnataka government's request to increase the guaranteed man days of work for family under this MG Narega scheme from 100 to 150. Okay, so what happened now? Karnataka government which mainly asked the center to increase this man days from 100 to 150, and this mainly approved by our cabinet. So here now we need to understand some facts regarding this MG Narega scheme. So if we are talking about this MG Narega scheme, it is nothing but Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So it is earlier known as National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which mainly passed in year 2005. So why? Because to create some employment or employment generation, and as well as it is also focusing on social security in India. And this scheme also has a demand-driven wage employment scheme, which functions under this Ministry of Rural Development. And this one is every adult member of a household in a rural area with a job card is eligible for this job under this scheme. Okay, so any adult member belongs to the households of any rural area, and they will be giving a job card, so they will be eligible under this scheme. Okay, and this one is it mainly says that it will provide about 100 days of guaranteed wage employment, but now Karnataka government said that to increase to 150 days. So if we're talking about this scheme, which mainly covers throughout India except the ones with 100% urbanization population. That means in urban areas there is no scheme like this, but in rural areas only we have this MG Narega scheme. And there is also provision of additional 50 days of unskilled wage employment in drought and as well as natural calamity and some notified rural areas. So if we are talking about as per section 3 subclass 4 of this act, the state may make provisions for providing additional days beyond the period guaranteed under this act. Okay, so under this section 3 subclass 4 of this MG Narega scheme, which mainly says that these provisions will also helpful for providing some additional days. So if there is a need of increasing of this days, so we can change under this section 3 subclass 4 of this MG Narega act. Okay, so this is just of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says RBI report finds 600 illegal loan apps operating in India. So this article mainly talking about illegal loan apps. Okay, so what happened recently due to this COVID-19? So many people, they started using digital platforms. So even though for ordering of your tiffins and ordering of your groceries, for your clothes, everything you started using online mechanisms, online platforms. So because of this, so this became an important chance for mainly some people. They came up with these illegal loan apps, and people they also started using this illegal loan app because of there is no proper livelihood, there is no proper job opportunities, and they are in the need of money mainly for their family or their family needs or for their health needs, everything. So because of this, it became an opportunity especially for the trappers to trap people. So if you see here what happened here recently, an RBI governing group report mainly said that there are about 600 illegal loan apps which are mainly offering digital lending. These apps which are not under any regulating body, and they charge high interest, and they can get access to phone data, and users are harassed and abused if payment is misused. So because of this, there is also increase in number of suicides as well. Okay, so even in our Telangana state, we saw number of suicide because of this illegal apps, loan apps. And an RBI complaint portals which mainly received 2,562 complaints on such loan apps. Okay, and next one is the most number of these complaints, they were from Maharashtra. So now let's try to see some important context why it is in news. So if you see context why it is in news, it mainly says that RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, which is Central Bank of India. So Central Bank of India working group on digital lending, which mainly includes lending through online platforms and mobile apps, has stumbled upon more than 600 illegal loan apps which are operating in India. So there are more than 600 illegal loan apps which are operating in India. So this is according to RBI working group report. So these apps mostly used mainly unsuspecting people. They are available on several app stores for Android users. So if you want to download any app, we will be going to our Play Store, right? So we will be going to our Play Store and we are going to download apps from that Play Store. So in the same way, what happened in that Play Store, there are number of apps that are mainly present, and those are easily downloaded by the people and they are using. So these apps were available across 81 app stores. That is from just 1 month, 2 months, that is January 1st, 2021 to February 28th, 2021. So RBI panel point out that Sachet, so this Sachet, SACHET. So this Sachet is a portal which mainly established by RBI under state level coordination committee, and this Sachet can be used for registering of complaint, okay, registering of complaint by the public who had been receiving significantly increasing number of complaints against this digital lending app. So around 2,562 complaints they were received just from January 2020 to March 2021. So what are the issues with respect to this digital lending app? First one is they attract mainly borrowers with the promise of loans in a quick and as well as facile manner. So here, whenever the people they want to get the loans, they need to go to bank and they need to come up with different types of documents. For making of that documents only, it will take much cost. So because of this, whenever we are having this type of digital lending apps, whenever this process is very quick and as well as there is hassle-free manner, so people will be attracted here obviously. And this one is, but there is excessive rate of interest and additional hidden charges will be demanded from borrowers. And such platforms they adopt unacceptable and high-handed recovery methods, and they also misuse agreements to access data on the mobile phones on the borrowers. So these are some important cause of concern. Okay, so if you're talking about RBI 6 commandments to banks on digital lending, so they said that names of digital lending platforms they need to be disclosed in the website of their banks or NBFCs, and digital lending platforms engaged as agents they shall be directed to disclose upfront to the customer regarding the name of the bank or NBFC if they are recorded them. Okay, if they are registered under this bank or NBFC, they need to display that. And next one is after sanction but before execution of the loan agreement, sanction letter must be issued to the borrower. Okay, sanction letter must be issued. After sanction letter issued, after that only, so money should be released. And a copy of loan agreement along with a copy of each of the enclosures quoted in the loan agreement shall be furnished to all borrowers. For all the borrowers, they need to get this loan agreement. And each one is effective oversight and monitoring shall be ensured over this digital lending platforms. And there should be the adequate efforts shall be made towards creation of awareness about this grievance redressal mechanism. So these are the 6 important points which are mainly said by RBI. And now let us try to say next topic. It is about Paxlovid. Paxlovid may be huge advancement for all coronaviruses. So now let us try to see some facts regarding this Paxlovid. So it is an investigational SARS coronavirus 2 protease inhibitor antiviral therapy. So it is mainly protease. Protease is very important for replication of the virus. So here in this way, whenever it is inhibiting protease, that will also inhibit the viral replication, right? So this is the one important mechanism behind this drug, and it made it designed to administer orally so that it can be prescribed at a first sign of infection or at first awareness of an exposure, or potentially helping patients to avoid this severe illness. So in this severe illness, after getting off this COVID-19 also we can take this drug, and even before also we can take this. And Pfizer said it has entered into advanced purchase agreements with multiple countries and is in the negotiations with several other countries. So these are some important facts that you need to remember regarding this drug, that is Paxlovid. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says, can this portable robot end septic tank deaths once it is deployed? So it is mainly talking about this robot. Actually, who designed this robot? This group of researchers from this IIT Madras. Okay, from IIT Madras, they developed a robot, and this robot can help to clean septic tanks without people have to enter into those tanks. So whenever people who are entering into those tanks and they are cleaning, that is called as manual scavenging. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that a statement by Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry in Lok Sabha reported that they conveyed in a 5 years till 31st 2020. Okay, they conveyed that in 5 years till December 31st 2020, they had been found about 340 deaths because of this manual scavenging in the sewers and as well as septic tanks, especially seen in 19 states and union territories. And most of the cases were recorded in UP, that is 52 cases, Tamil Nadu 43, Delhi 36 cases here. And even Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, they also have recorded number of deaths. So even though banning and prohibition of this manual scavenging there is happening, and there are deaths which are also had been increased. And a group from Mechanical Engineering Department and Center for Non-Destructive Testing of IIT Madras, they developed this robot. Okay, so if deployed extensively, it will put end to practice of sending people into the septic tanks. And the name of the robot is HomoSep. Okay, HomoSep, that is homogenizer of septic tanks. And it took about 3 years to develop this robot. If you're talking about some specifications regarding this robot, that is HomoSep, which has a shaft attached to blades, and that can open like an inverted umbrella, and then introduced into the septic tank. Okay, so what happened whenever this introduced into septic tank, it is having an umbrella like thing, so it can remove this hardened fecal part like a clay. So further, the latest version of this robot is a lightweight model, and it can be attracted to tractor and as well as wheel of remote inaccessible areas. So in a remote inaccessible areas also we have this light model. Okay, light model robots that can be used to that can be connected to tractor mainly to clean your septic tanks. And next one is the robot is attached to the axis of tractor, and it can be run by using a power, okay, from a tractor engine. So whenever these type of robots which are attached to tractor, we can use the power from this tractor and we can operate this robot. And if you're talking about some facts regarding this manual scavenging, so what is this manual scavenging? It is nothing but the removal of human excreta from the public street and as well as dry latrine from the septic tanks, gutters, sewers, etc. So this act is called as manual scavenging. So here, what are the reasons behind this manual scavenging? So let me know the reasons in comment box. Don't forget about this. So what are the reasons which led to this manual scavenging? And if you're talking about what are the steps that are taken by our government to address this type of issues, are many. So first one is government came up with the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and Rehabilitation Amendment Bill 2020, and this bill mainly proposes completely we need to go for mechanizing of the sewer cleanings, or we can say like gutters, etc. And it will be amended to Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and as well as other Rehabilitation Act 2013 as well. So here this bill, it is still awaiting for this cabinet approval. And second one is the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and Rehabilitation Act 2013. So this act mainly superseding 1993 act here. And this act, which is a very good act, which is mainly acting beyond prohibitions on dry latrines and as well as overseas of all manual extreatment, which is mainly include cleaning of instantly latrines and as well as open drain and as well as pits. So it is about this Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers. And this one is Prevention of Atrocities Act. What happened in 1989? So in 1989, the Prevention of Atrocities Act, which became an integrated guard for the sanitation workers. And under this, more than 90%, more than the 90% of people they employed as manual scavengers, and they mainly belonging to the scheduled caste. Okay, and next one is Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge. So if we are talking about the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge, which mainly launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on Toilet Day, on World Toilet Day, that is November 19th. And as well as government also launched this challenge for all the states to make sewer cleaning mechanized by April 2021. And one more thing is Swachhata Abhiyan app. So it mainly developed to identify and to geotag the data of insanitary latrines and as well as manual scavengers, so that the insanitary latrines they can be replaced with sanitary latrines, and they can go for even rehabilitation. Rehabilitation of the all manual scavengers to provide the dignity of life. So this is the gist of this topic. And now let's try to see next topic. It's a very small topic, that is our snapshots, that is warming earth. So this article will be important from our environment and ecology, which mainly comes under our GS paper 3. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that studying the data from more than 9,000 soil samples. Studying the data by more than 9,000 samples from all over the world. Now scientists they deduced carbon storage declines strongly as temperature average increases. So whenever the temperature is increasing, then storage of this carbon will also be decreased. So that will lead to increasing of global warming. So one side there is increasing of temperature, and another side there is releasing of carbon dioxide from the soil, such that there is a dual effect that is seen. So if you see, this study mainly published in Nature Communication, and this study mainly found out that amount of this carbon being released depends upon the soil type. So based on the soil type, the amount of carbon which is mainly released, which mainly depends. So with the low clay soils, they lost carbon very fast manner than compared to the top this clay rich soils. So this is just of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic is about tooth prints. Tooth prints. This article will be important from our science and technology, which mainly comes in the GS paper 3. And if you're talking about this tooth prints, the thickness of the growth marks. So on the tooth also some children they will be having growth marks. So the thickness of this growth marks in primary teeth may help, especially to identify the children who develops risk of mental health issues. So why? What's the relationship between this teeth and as well as mental health issues? So recent study which mainly said that, so how the tree rings are present, that is annual rings of the tree are present, and how these tree rings which mainly reveal the climate. So in the same way, your physical stress, because of whenever there is physical stress is happening, that will also affect dental enamel formation. So because of this improper formation of this dental dental enamel, we can see the formation of the lines on the teeth. So based on this, we can assess the mental condition of that children. Okay, so this is a study which mainly released or published in this JAMA Network Open. So this is gist of this topic. And these are some important articles that appeared in today's Hindu newspaper. Now I want to make a small announcement. We came up with this Prelims Test Series 2022, and it mainly contains 30 tests, which mainly includes GS and as well as CSAT. So in GS we have sectional test, we have revision test, and as well as full length test. Okay, so please try to join this course, and it is a very affordable price, that is about just 5,000 rupees. And apart from this, we also launched this mains answer writing practice course. So in this course, we are mainly covering our static syllabus GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. Okay, so on Sundays there will be essay and as well as case study practice as well. And we also gave a detailed schedule of this mains answer writing practice and which topics that need to be read in which week. So in this way, here you can also understand micro topics, and you will be having practicing of this mains answers, and you will be having a satisfaction like, so I completed entire GS portion within 1 year, that is GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. And we mainly emphasized on static syllabus more on GS1 and GS2. And GS1 more or less it is static syllabus like history is there, geography is there. So we gave much time for completing of this history and geography, although these are very much lengthy subjects. And we are also focusing exclusively on this ethics. So on this ethics GS4, we are mainly having about more than 35 to 40 questions. Okay, and for 1 week we gave the syllabus only one chapter. So in this way, this will be very useful. Okay, and the next one is the price. It is very less, that is 7,200 rupees only. So it is very beneficial, and I will assure you that you will be completing your entire syllabus of GS, and you will be improving your answer writing skills. And even if you don't know answer, we will providing you the model answer in a PDF format. Okay, and please try to join this course as well. And if you want other subjects like history, geography, economy, they are also available in our website. And also we launched this new foundational course. For entire course it is just 60,000 rupees, which includes prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing practice. So this will be highly beneficial, and these are the very reasonable prices or affordable prices. We are not charging you much high, just for our management, okay, of our lecture, for faculty and for website management. So we are charging a very basic amount. Okay, so you can easily join these courses. Okay, so the details of all these courses are given in description box, so please visit that once. So by this I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS.